Okay, we're going to rig the Fluid 5.5. First thing we want to do is check the specs. You can find the specs both on the end of the bag and on the tack pad. And it shows you the size, the mast that you need, the extension and the boom length. So you got it in two different spots. So the right mast is very important. This is asking for 400 mast. We recommend the Hot Rod 400. And RDM's best, but you can also use other RDM masts. And also with the Fluid you can use standard diameter masts if you want to. So the first thing we do is put the mast together. The labels are always on the bottom parts. So when you put the mast together, make sure it goes together like this and not like this. That's bad, you don't want to do that. It's a nice snug tight fit and it stops the sand getting in there. Okay, now we're just going to feed the mast up the mast sleeve. There's a little handle right here that helps you hold on to the sail whilst you feed the mast up. The hot rod extension, threading the downhaul line is very easy because the pulleys are lined up in the same direction as the pulleys on the sail. So all you have to do is just start threading it on the pulley closest to the mast and just work outwards. And you never have twisted or crossed up lines. Get some of the downhaul on, and I like to use my downhaul tool. These things are worth the weight in gold. When we're tuning sails, not so much in recreational, but in race sails, you're like tuning like a millimeter or two more downhaul here and there, trying to get the most performance. And with a pulley, it's really easy to do that fine tuning. If you're just trying to pull it by hand and you're straining, it's very hard to do fine tuning. Push your thumb on the line to get it in the cleat. And we're all set. Next we're going to put the boom on. I like to turn it around so the gap's on this side. Because when you're trying to stick the boom on, the edge of the boom head can get caught on the edge of there. So if you put it at the front, then you never have to worry about that. The boom height right there. So we know that we're getting the boom in the height that we like every time. Okay, now we've got to adjust the outboard. And the Fluid does not need a ton of outboard. It works pretty good, moderately full. So the boom's only going to be a little bit longer in the sail when it's just sitting under downhaul tension. We've got two clue grommets, and there's two ways you can use them. You can use them to keep the boom level. So if you're really tall and you're at the top of the boom cutout, you might want to use the top ring, and if you're really short and you're at the bottom of the boom cutout, you might want to use the bottom one. You can also use both at the same time if the boom's in the middle. The other way you can use it is to adjust the leech tension of the sail. If you're using the top ring, that's pulling down on the leech a little more, gives you a little more tension. It's going to give you a little bit more power. If you're using the bottom one, that's going to allow the leech to twist open a little bit more. So you get a little more twist in the sail, which is good for more control and more speed. So I'll just show you how to use two rings at once. You just go through one and go back through the other. And just cleat it off. It's very important that you tension the battens before you go sailing and not get too excited and go racing out there, because if there's no tension on the battens, the screws will fall out and you'll lose them. So the batten tensioning key is right on the end of the sail bag. Okay, here's a batten tensioning key. It comes on the end of every sail bag. It's just velcroed on. It's just an Allen key, so if you do lose it, you can just go out and buy another one at the hardware store. Just inserts right into the end of the batten tensioner, and it's normal, so you just, it's right turns to make it tighter, and you just turn it until it starts to become nice and firm, and you see all the wrinkles have disappeared and you've got a nice clean sail. So I'm just going to go up the sail and do all the battens, and you'll just watch the tension of the batten, the wrinkles will disappear. Now after you've been sailing a few times, you're going to need to go back and retension the battens and do that a few times until they sort of settle in. Usually after you've been using them for a while, they'll just stay in the same spot and you won't need to mess with them anymore. Let's check the downhaul. So this sail likes to have a lot of twist in it. This is a medium amount of downhaul. You see it's loose all the way up to about here, this batten. And the looseness continues most of the way down the leech. Okay, so you can see we've got a nice deep foil shape in the bottom of the sail, and it's quite flat on the top with loose leech and lots of twist. And that's the way the Fluid likes to be rigged. So the outhaul you can adjust about a centimetre either direction, and the same with the downhaul. So the sail works good, relatively full with quite a lot of twist in it. So the Fluid has a slightly lower cut foot, more area, more roach in the bottom of the sail, it's a little more power. So we have a tack strap here just to give a little tension on the foot of the sail. So when you get done rigging, you just give it a little pull so it's nice and tight on the foot of the sail. There should be just a slight wrinkle here, and that's perfect. And I normally just tuck the strap back in like that, and it all gets hidden underneath the mast pad. We just wrap that around. Oh, one more thing. We've got all this downhaul line floating around, but we've got a place for that. Just coil it up, and right here, just stick it inside of the pocket. That gets rid of that big mess. Okay, now we're ready to go sailing.